Do you know that the McRib is back at McDonald's? Did you know that?
I did see a commercial for the McRib. I've never had a McRib, I don't think, Rob. One of the very few fast food items I've not yet partaken in.
Then you need to roll with me one day. I'm on my way to the nearest Mickey D's to get my traditional post-game meal, 2 10-piece McNuggets, ladies and gentlemen, and a vanilla shake. And then I think about maybe some dessert. Like, they used to do the apple pies. Remember the apple pies?
They bake them now. They're not the same. The old fried ones were the best. They came out like molten lava if you got them too soon and you bit into one, you burned your face off. That was.
Let me tell you something, though. As a kid growing up, and you think about your family because of the holidays, Thanksgiving. My dad, God rest his soul, a proud veteran of World War II. My mother, my daughter's namesake, my son's namesake. We would always go every 2 weeks payday to the Beaver Falls McDonald's, okay? Couldn't wait. 5 sisters and me, and it would be the same thing. Small fry, hamburger, Coke. My one sister did not like hamburger, so she would get a fish and the vanilla shake. That was it. Every 2 weeks, clockwork. And if you would say, could I have an extra, he would look back and say, you're not getting anything but a hamburger, a small fry, and a Coke. And can I tell you something? It was better than any 5-star restaurant that I've ever gone to in my life. And to this day, every time I pull around and they say, welcome to McDonald's, can I interest you? And I say, absolutely, no matter what it is. I love what they do. And now, I also love what you do as a lawyer. Let's talk about Diulis Law and why, even though you're a big-time sports agent, Vantage Management Group, one of your players happens to be Derek Wolf. He is going to be on KDK TV2 this afternoon representing the Denver Broncos when they take on Cincinnati. So you have done it at all sides and all levels in the National Football League, but you can't give up real estate. You can't give up accidents. You can't give up divorce. You love practicing law. Why is that?
I do, Rob, and I think it's what I was trained to do. It's you spend 3 years in law school and figuring out the best way that you can to serve and to help your clientele, and it's the people that come to your office that really need help that you feel the best about. If it's whether it's a family law situation where you want to get the best outcome that you can for that family, or wrapping up an estate for a family that really had some issues and needs to have these things probated and get their estate taxes taken care of and make sure that everything goes to the right places. Even doing some criminal law that I do, making sure, and I'm a big advocate of do not drink and drive. But if you do get into that situation, there are ways that you can minimize the negative effects in your life. And I do what I know to be a pretty good job in working that out for folks. So I'm very proud of the work that I do at Diulis Law, in addition to the other stuff.
And listen, Thanksgiving Eve happens to be one of the busiest party nights of the year. And on behalf of all of us, of course, my buddy Greg Diulis, please get an Uber, call a cab, get a designated driver. For heaven's sakes, be responsible when you go out and celebrate probably one of the best nights of the year, because it's all about family. And speaking of law, you happen to be a part of the Pitt alum as far as law school, and I went on a bit of a tirade during the Black and Gold show today because I'm a fan. That's my skin in the game. I love them. I grew up loving them, and when they ain't winning, I ain't happy. And I don't care what you or anybody says. If they lose next week to Miami, which is Friday at noon, 93.7 The Fan, IMG Sports, Heinz Field, and they are 4-8 on the year, there's nothing that excites me about this season. The ladies basketball team is suffering. The men's basketball team is suffering. What is it going to take? This great school, this great brand that I absolutely think has done more for this city than maybe anyone, why can't we win some sporting events?
Yeah, you have to rebuild. It's gotten to the point now where it is a rather ugly situation, but the kids that are there, you've got some quality individuals that just need to be built upon and then add bits and pieces. And I'm not saying that there's anything great to write home about with regard to this football season itself, other than you were able to demonstrate or to develop some kids who were very young. This is a young football team. The seniors that will move on, they do have a few. They have some kids that'll probably declare for the draft maybe a year earlier than you would have liked, and could have built on those kids. But there is a nucleus within that football team that they're not that far away. They did not lose games in a blowout fashion like a program that you think there's no redeemable features. I think there is something to be built upon within that organization. And with regard to the basketball team, Rob, if people latch on to these kids, they're young. They've got 11 freshmen on that basketball team. There are some players that are athletes. They were recruited at other places. This basketball team will struggle this year, but as they build, you'll get to find some people that you will like with regard to the basketball team.
Listen, if you show up at anything, Pitt, I like it. In closing, you got NASCAR, you got Dale Earnhardt Jr. retiring, okay? I'm going to miss him. His father was a legend. I think he is a legend. He's done nothing but good for the sport. Obviously, he went through the concussion situation and really got cured, and a lot of help from the good people at UPMC. So now I think he's going to go on to that next stage. As the Bambino, our producer, said, he's going to go to the booth with NBC. So it's a good story. Danica Patrick has done a lot for the sport. She's going to retire after Daytona 500 and the Indianapolis 500. Today they race for their title. NASCAR, that great brand, Miami Homestead Speedway.
Yeah, Rob, you talk about a boost for the economy with what NASCAR does for just the overall national economy, with people getting out there and supporting that. And you go through a Walmart and every other jacket or whatever is some sort of NASCAR-related item. It's really something that has the grassroots of America is supported by such a great brand as NASCAR.
All right, coming a little bit close on me. We're going to end on this note. You know, wearing this hat, I actually put it on because I got some bedhead. It's been a very long day. Been up since about 1:30 this morning, so I brought it off the Bambino. But I think of country music, I think of great hats. Neil McCoy always wearing that hat down there at the Jamboree. Brad Paisley from Wheeling wearing that hat. I grew up around old country. I like new country. Y108. I always enjoy listening to some of the people that are out there. The CMA Awards just a few days ago. But today we lost truly one of the golden members of the Grand Ole Opry, and of course many times at the Jamboree and in Wheeling, West Virginia, performing, one of the top performers ever, Mel Tillis. What I will always remember about Mel Tillis was the pure style, the dignity, and when he hit his mark on the stage and that spotlight shined on him, he gave it everything that he had, and no one could tell a story better, and his memory is going to go on for a very long time, not just in the country music community, but because of what he did in the community that he lived, Nashville, Tennessee. So on behalf of all of us who love country music, a tip of the hat to Mel Tillis, who died today. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll check back with you tonight and wrap up the NFL from the Pratt Pack Gym. On behalf of Greg Diolis, the Bambino, and Bob Dvorak, Ted Arnaud, and the Coons Quality Food folks who bring this show to you every week, have a great day, everybody.